our eighths times tables, and just like they do with every other chapter, we do all of our skip counting with our eighths at right here at the top, and then we do the same thing over here at the bottom. This is all skip counting with eighths, skip counting with eighths, and then this top portion is just the threes, skip counting with threes. So move on, and let's see what else we've got over here. We have over here it says how many sides are on the stop signs. So we know that octagons have 8 sides each. So we have 8 times 8 is going to give us 64. Okay, so we know that that's 64 sides. Okay, because remember, one side has 8. Wait a second, there's not 8. This got me confused. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stop signs. So this is incorrect. Sorry about that, you guys. It's 8 times 5. Because there's 5. 8 times 5. So there's 5 stop signs, and each one has 8 sides. So that would be 40. Then we move on to number 5. It says the houses on the street all have the same number of windows. 8 homes have a total of 56 windows. How many windows does each home have? So if each home, if there's 8 homes, okay, and altogether these 8 homes have 56 windows. This is how we set up this problem, because we know the total. See, they give us the total, so we know that's going to be the equals part, because anytime that we multiply, our ending number is always bigger, and when we add, it's the same thing. The ending number is bigger, so we know that the big number is going to go here. We know that 8 times the number is going to be, this is right here, is going to be the number we're looking for, and that is 7. So each home has 7 windows. Okay. Then we go to number 6, and it says each bridesmaid's dress required 8 yards of fabric. How many yards of fabric must be bought to make dresses for a total of 6 bridesmaids? So that is 8 yards of fabric. And that's how many 8 yards is how much one dress requires. Okay, so but we have 6 bridesmaids, so we need 6 dresses, so we multiply by 6, and I guess it's 48. Please bear with me, you guys, I'm still getting over kind of a cold. So yeah, okay, then we're going to go to number 7. There are 8 pints in a gallon. How many pints are in 8 gallons? Okay, so if there's 8 pints in 1 gallon, if we want to find out how many pints are in 8 gallons, then we just multiply by 8 again. Okay, 8 pints, 8 gallons equals 64. Okay. Okay, and then we go to number 8. It says a spider has 8 legs. Okay, we know we need 8 for something. There are 4 spiders on my wall. How many spider legs are on my wall? So if there's 8 legs in one spider, then we multiply by 4 to get how many. We'll get how many are in 4 spiders, and that's 32. Okay. Okay. We move on over here, and we have some more skip counting, and this time it's 8s again, and then we come here, it's 8s here, and it is 8s at the bottom, and then over here it's 6s, so you just skip count by those numbers. And we come over here, and it says how many pints are in 6 gallons. Okay, well, we know, because they just told us in the page before this, that there are 8 pints in 1 gallon, right? Okay, so we know that information. And then it says how many pints are in 6 gallons. Well, if we know that 1 gallon equals 8 pints, in order to convert 6 gallons into pints, we have to multiply by 8. And that equals 48. And they give you the gallons here, and the pints, they equal 1 gallon, so that you can skip count if you want to by the eighths. Okay, and you can get it that way too. Okay, number 5 says a stop sign has 8 sides. Cody drew 3 stop signs on a piece of paper. How many sides did he draw? Okay, so a stop sign has 8 sides, and Cody drew 3. How many sides did he draw? 24. Okay, 24 sides. Jack makes $8 an hour gardening. He worked 8 hours. Okay, if you make $8 every hour that you work, and you work 8 hours, then you just multiply 8 times 8. $8 an hour, 8 hours, $64. Okay. Lyle went to Vermont and bought 2 gallons of maple syrup in pint jugs. Okay, how many pints did they say? Remember, they equal 1 gallon. They said 8. 8 equal a gallon. So if you want to convert the gallons into pints, you have to multiply by 8, because there's 8 pints in a gallon. And that gives us 16. So that's how many jugs he bought. Okay. And it says how many legs are on a 8-legged scorpion. So 9 8-legged. Okay. Are on 9 8-legged scorpions. Okay. This is how many of them. This is how many legs they have. That is 72. Ooh, that is 72. Okay. And then we move on here, and over here, it's more skip counting by 4s at the bottom. And then we move on over here, and it says how many legs are on 3 spiders. So it shows that there's 8 legs on each one. So you just do that multiplication. And then over here it says, Fred the fearless diver encountered a family of 5 octopuses. Okay, octopuses also have 8 arms. So they have 8 arms. It says octopuses have 8 arms each. How many arms were waving at Fred? So that would be 8 arms each, and there's 5 octopuses. So 8 times 5 is 40. And then it says over here, 4 more octopuses swam up to Fred. Okay, so 4 more of them came up to Fred after that. What is the total number of arms now surrounding him? So if 4 more octopuses, first we have to find out how many arms that would be. So 4 times 8 equals 32. So then now we would have to add these. Now we have to add these. 32 plus 40, and this is, you could stack them like this, right underneath each other. And you can just do 0 plus 2 is 2, 4 plus 3 is 7. So 72 arms now we're waving at Fred. Okay. So the first, number 5 is 40, and then we have to find out, because 4 more came, and then now we have to add them together to find out how many arms now are waving at Fred, because 4 more octopuses showed up. Okay. Okay. Okay, we already did one of these, so I want you guys to do that. Okay, yeah. Actually, I'll do that one because that one's a little tricky. So it says Sarah worked 8 hours a week. Okay. When she had worked a total of 80 hours, how many weeks has she worked? Okay, so if we know that total is our 80 hours, Okay, and we know that she works 8 hours a week. We're trying to find out how many weeks. So we have 8 times blank is 80. And we know that 8 times 10 gives us 80. So she worked 10 weeks. Okay, that's how we set that problem up. When they tell you this, when she worked a total of 80 hours, you know that that's going to be your equals area, your equals part. So then you can just put your 8 hours and then look for the weeks, which is the one side that's the part that's missing. Okay, next one says Brandon counted 7 stop signs on the way to work. How many sides did he count in all? Okay, well, we know that each stop sign has 8 sides, and he counted 7. So how do we do 8 times 7? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's 56. Next one is some more skip counting, some more review. I've seen that a few kids have been having a hard time with their 7s, so keep practicing those. And also these ones right here that we're doing that are pretty new problems. So a little more. Okay, so over here there is the 40 times 8, and that one it's done correctly here, but it's 40 times 8. And the way we do these is you start from the bottom number when you're multiplying, and you always multiply the bottom numbers, all the bottom numbers, times all the top numbers. Okay, so it's 8 times 0, and that's 0. And then you go over diagonally, and you go 8 times 4, and that's 32. So that would be your answer. Okay. The same thing goes for this one. 200. It shows 200 times 2. You do 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 again is 0. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So you start at the bottom and you go to each number and you put the digit down as you go. Okay? Okay. Okay, this is all more review. Solve for the unknown. We've done that before. Let me see if I can fix this to. Okay. And then we have. There we go. Okay, and then we have. Oh, over here. Let's check the back page of this one and see. Okay. So this is something that I've seen a lot of students still struggle with their addition, and mostly with their subtraction, but some of the addition as well, just carrying the numbers over. I'm going to do number 16. But in order to be really efficient at this, there's a few things we must do. One of those things is know our place value, okay? Our place value, these are the ones, okay? These are the tens, and these are the hundreds. That's important to know when you're adding, okay? Because when you're adding ones and you get to 10, then you need to bring that over to the tens, okay? If you get more than a 10, and there's not enough space here anymore, now you've made 100, so you need to move that over. So when we're carrying over, that's why. It's because we made a 10. With these ones, we made a 10, and now we have to give it to the tens place. And then if we make, over here, if we get 10, then that means, or more, then that means we made 100 now, okay? Because these are tens. This equals 30. This place value here is 30. This one's 20. This one's 100. This one's 600. And we know that because if we read the number, it says 128. So it tells us what the value is. So that's important to know. And then just being able to add one-digit numbers is important too, so that you don't stay here, a long time, or so that you don't keep making mistakes. So 8 plus 5, this is easy to do in your head. If you just do a little bit of mental math and you know that 5 plus 3 equals 8, then you know that 5 plus 5 is 10, plus the 3 is 13. Okay, so 8 plus 5 is 13. Put down the 3, carry the 1. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6, and then 6 plus 1 is 7. Okay, that's how you do this. You don't have to do this mental math step, but I like it. It makes life easier. But yeah, just practice that at home. You're carrying. Remember, whenever you get too many on this side, that means that you have to, you made a 10, so now you have to bring it over to the tens place, because that's where it belongs. If you're doing subtraction, let's do a subtraction problem real quick just to throw it in there. If you're doing a subtraction problem, okay, you have something like this, now you're trying to take ones that you don't have, so you need to borrow from the tens place. So you take a 10, and see, the reason that this is a 10 is when you add it here, 3 plus 10 is what gives you 13. That's why this is a 13. You're not just moving this 1 here, and you know, you have to know what that means. When you take this away, you're taking 1 10. So 10 plus 3 equals 13. And that's how we get that. Okay. Then 2 more from 8 to get to 10 is 2, plus 3 is 5. So 13 minus 8 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. So it's 35. So I just wanted to throw one of those in there, just because I've seen a lot of people struggle with those. Okay. Square dance circles, we're going to do number 18, are made up of 4 couples. How many square dancers are in 6 circles? Okay, so one circle is made up of 4 couples, okay? We know that. That's our first number. Then it says, how many square dancers are in 6 circles? It says, be careful. You just do 4 times 6. Okay, because if one circle has 4 couples, okay, then in 6 circles, you're going to have 4 couples in each one, so that's 24. Okay. Number 19 says, Max's room is 3 yards wide. Okay, each of his shoes is exactly 1 foot long. How many of his shoes would he need to arrange end to end to reach across his room? Okay, so we know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard, and Max's room is 3 yards long. Okay, okay, and then we know that each of his shoes is 1 foot long. So what are we looking for? The 3 yards. First of all, we're going to turn the 3 yards into, we're going to turn them into feet. That way we can work on the same exact thing. Okay, so with the same measurement. So 3 yards is the same as saying 3, converting it to feet. That's how we would do it. We would do the 3 yards times 3 feet, and that would give us 9. Okay, so that is 9 feet altogether is how wide Max's room is. Okay, if each of his shoes is exactly 1 foot long, how many shoes would he be able to arrange? 9. 9 shoes, not feet though. 9 shoes. Okay. Okay, number 20 says, Craig led the car race for 179 laps at the beginning, and then he fell behind. He took the lead again for another 143 laps and won the race. For how many laps altogether did he lead? Okay. It says he led the car race for 179 laps at the beginning and then fell behind. Then he took the lead again for another 143 laps. Okay, so what do we have to do? If he took the lead for 179 laps and then also for another 143 laps, then we just have to add these. Okay, we're just adding all the laps that he was in the lead for. And 9 plus 3, if we know our 9 are 3's, then we know that 9 plus 3 is just 12. Okay. because we're just adding another set of 3 to 9. There's 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, and then 7 plus 3 is 11, and then one more is 12, and then we carry that over, and this is 3. So 322. Okay, 322 laps. He was in the lead. Okay, and we move on over here. I have some more skip counting by the 7s, which is so important. Really want you guys to go ahead and do that. Over here, counting by 2s, counting by 6s at the bottom, and just some more. This is just review, more review of what we've already been doing. Let me see. Seeing a lot of addition, but I wish there was more subtraction, since I've seen a lot of kids struggle with the subtraction more. So this is more adding that we've already gone over. Over here on number 18, it says, over the course of the summer, Eddie ate 3 gallons of vanilla ice cream and 4 gallons of chocolate ice cream. How many pints did he eat? Okay, so the question asks us how many pints did he eat. It doesn't ask us how many how many pints of chocolate ice cream did he eat, or how many pints of vanilla ice cream did he eat. So the question doesn't care what flavor it is. Okay, so since it's asking us just how many pints in general, we need to find out how much ice cream in general. And we do that by just adding up the ice cream. So we have 3 gallons of vanilla, 3 gallons plus 4 gallons of chocolate. So he ate 7 gallons in total, okay? And whenever we want to turn gallons into pints, we have to figure out, okay, we have our 7 gallons, and what are we going to multiply it by? We're going to multiply it by how many pints are in 1 gallon. And we said that was 8, and then we know that 7 times 8 is going to equal 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 56. So that's how many pints of ice cream Eddie ate. It's a lot of ice cream. Okay. Number 19 says, Rover the poodle weighed 2 pounds. Fido the cat weighed 4 times as much as Rover. How much did Rover and Fido weigh when they stood on the scale together? So it says Rover weighed 2 pounds. Fido weighed 4 times as much as Rover. So we bring that down. 4 times as much as Rover. So that's 4 times 2. Okay, because Rover weighs 2. And that's 8. And then it says, how much did Rover and Fido weigh when they stood on the scale together? And that's 8 plus 2, and which is 10. Okay. And then number 20 says, Claire loved to collect coins. She collected 74 the first year and 98 the second year. The third year, she managed to collect 206 more coins. How many coins did she have after 3 years? Okay, and this is the one where you have to stack them up. And just like I said before, that you guys have to really know your place value. Well, it's also good to line everything up by place value, because if you have this all scattered, and even when you're answering this, when you're doing your answers, make sure you write them right underneath. Be as neat as possible with your work so you don't get confused later, okay? So the way I like to do this is I make my 10 first. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. So I put my 8 there, I carry my 1, okay? And then 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 7 is 17. I put my 7 here, carry my 1, and then this is 378. That's how many coins she collected after 3 years. Okay. Now we're going to move on. More skip counting. 7s, 8s up there. More review at the bottom. Okay. I'm going to see the back of this and see if there's anything. Okay, there's more addition. We've gone over those. Okay. Okay. So I will do number 20. 18 and 19, I'll let you guys try that on your own. But I do want to do number 20 just because it is an area problem. And I've had a lot of students struggle with area. So, okay. So this one says, Doug's storage room measures 5 feet wide. Okay. So I always like to draw my little picture. 5 feet wide and 10 feet long. Okay. What is the area of the floor? Well, area equals length times width. And they said the length is 10 times the width is 5. So area is 50. Okay. So we got that. Now we come down to the next part. Don't forget the next part of the question. It says Doug has 34 floor tiles that each measure 1 square foot. How many more tiles does he need to buy to cover the floor of his storage room? Well, this is how many square feet his floor is. We found that that was 5, and he only has 35 tiles, and they are all cover 1 foot square. So yeah, they just cover 35 square feet. So we need to find out how many more he needs. Well, if he needs to cover 50 and he already has 35, then we just subtract that to find the missing part, and that's going to be 15. And you can, oh, here, this is actually a perfect one to do, and then I just did mental math. So 5, we need to take away 5, but this is a 0, and we can't take 5 away from 0. So we're going to go ahead and take a 10 from our neighbor, and we'll bring it here. And 0 plus 10 is 10, and then 10 minus 5 is 5, and then 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay? And that's how you do that 2-step problem. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you in class